hello. How are you? Welcome to another edition of Good Night Sri Lanka. Good evening to each and every one of you. It is another Friday right here as we're coming to you on our platforms on PodHub, on YouTube, and also on Facebook.
Yes.
That's right, on our PodHub platforms. This is Gnsl. Good Night Sri Lanka. Hopefully you had a fantastic week, and it's funny. It feels a bit different because this is the first full week we've actually had in the last maybe 3 weeks. Yeah, I mean, you.
I am just going to roll my eyes on that point.
But the thing is, you work for a different country, no?
Yeah.
Oh.
And you're governed by different laws also.
I also, on the other hand, unfortunately, full week of work, whether it's sun, rain or sun, media,
Yes.
we have to go for the job.
Yes.
Right.
COVID or curfew or whatever happens, we have
Now
to
again you're back to the grind.
back to the grind. Yes.
Very cool,
So
very
that's-
cool. How was the week?
It was good. Daughter finished her exams yesterday. So we went for dinner and we went to watch.
That Sinhala film?
No,
Haggediya?
No, Nelumkuluna.
No, Annie, the other one.
තව එකක් තියෙනවද?
Have you seen that Sinhala movie, Nelumkulana?
No, I haven't.
Have you?
You didn't even tell us.
So I went. So.
No, but it's really
Mama.
funny.
It's hilarious. I
re-
laughed the whole time.
It's
Oh
really
my
funny.
God.
And
What
you
was
know
the
what?
other one?
We should actually get the director of Nelum Kulana,
And
right?
have
Have him on the show with us
Yeah,
because
Because I think what went through his mind when he made it was absolutely epic. There was not much of casting. There was not much of anything. It was a very simple thing, but it is hilarious.
it is absolutely hilarious.
There's another one I went to watch, courtesy of all my staff.
Uh-huh.
I kind of saw the shorts and I said, look, I am not going to come and watch this. Anna, young. So wait now, one moment please. This is buffering.
You can't remember.
No.
You can't remember what you watched. Come on,
No,
man.
no.
Haggediya.
Haggediya පිම්මින එක මොකද්ද?
Horanayan.
No.
Then
The
trumpet.
what is that?
So you of course blow so many things, no?
Today.
the seashell.
Seashell. Anna, what is it called? in
Haggediya
Sinhala?
තමයි.
Haggediya.
No.
Then?
One moment, please. One moment. You continue to talk. I'll just somehow find this for you.
So I went to watch Final Destination.
Oh,
Final
my
Destination,
God,
Bloodline.
that fish.
Yeah, but it is not as graphic as the first and second.
Oh, right, okay,
I think this is how it actually started.
right.
In the 50s, where this lady can see the future and then she saves an entire colony of people,
Right.
right? So what happens is, now what we have seen so far, I think, is all the descendants, right? So
Right.
one person has the cheated death.
Right.
So it took a long time for death to
Catch up.
catch up,
Right.
So within that long time, the tree has expanded to children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. So it took a lot of time to come.
Right.
So it's actually starting from somewhere in the middle, from the root of it,
Okay.
and then continuing now the family tree. It's going up again. Yeah, that was
The one I went to watch is Valampuri.
Valampuri. That's right.
Valampuri and Pipi Nare.
That Haggediya
Haggediya. Valampuri
It looked like one.
වාට කවුද වාලම්පුර පිපිනවා කිව්වේ?
I didn't even know what that was when I saw it. I went,
ෂාක් ඔය ගඩොලත් එකතු කරගන්න අපේ ගිය හදන්න.
I said පිමින එක වගේ.
පිපින එක වගේ.
That one also know better. Blowing them from outside.
What?
Blowing. අර මේවනේ. That little Haggediya thing. Yeah.
Let's not
Don't go to the gutter. Put your mind at the gutter.
වාට බ්ලෝයින් නම් ඕන එකක්.
So anyway, that is also a nice film to go and watch.
What is it about?
It's about trying to sell that thing
Okay.
to foreigners and all that, and then getting
Okay.
caught to the police. Very lot of slang, of Sinhala slang. Some words I have not heard in my life.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, here, what is it? The staff next to me said, "Pasi kiyanna ngene." Eva දැන් අහන්න එපා. Pasi kiyanna.
So not every shell of the species is a valampuriya. You know that?
No,
You didn't know that?
I didn't know there was a plant species inside. I didn't know anything about it.
No. This is
There's
actually,
something in it, no?
No, that thing is dead and gone, no. Right? This is just the empty shell, no. Right? So usually the majority of the valampuri, the curl is from left to right.
You're telling the truth.
Yeah, of course I'm telling
I
the
must
truth.
listen and wait.
Right?
I'm not sure about
A
it.
normal huggedia or any type of shell, even a golubella, if you see the shell is there's a curve like that, no?
Yeah.
Right? So it's going in a certain direction, either left to right or right to left.
Okay.
Right? The one which is supposed to be precious and
The other
all
way around.
is the other way around. The turn is the other way around.
Oh, so you
Right?
must know the turn to figure out.
නැත්තම් ඔයාලා ගිහිල්ලා මාලාපුර යන්න එපා. ඔයා ගිහිල්ලා කරීම වර්ධී කරගෙන
අර ගොළු බෙල්ලක් අරගෙන here.
Try sell that to a foreigner.
Try to
So
sell that
it
to a
was
foreigner.
but you should go and watch the movie. Pretty interesting. I didn't think I will like it, but I actually did. And that's a very simple.
Narum Kulana is obviously the Sinhala version, but there is also a Tamil version.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah,
Of this?
of
Of
Nellum Kulana is the Tamil version, which actually has a fair amount of reasonably known individuals as cast members, and it is hilarious. It is absolutely
So same
hilarious.
thing in Tamil.
Same thing in Tamil.
Okay.
Same
right,
thing in Tamil.
In Sri Lanka.
Sorry, no, it's in India.
Right.
It's actually
It's the
released
same
in India.
director, Same director also, right?
Same director,
Yeah, that's
same
right,
director,
that's
right?
How
So
cool.
yeah, so we need to reach out to the director, of course, is Lango.
The funny thing is, I mean, you turn a tragedy, a death of a person, to an absolute comedy.
Yeah, that's just how he died.
That's the
Yeah,
thing.
right,
That's the
Anna,
thing.
right. It is how he died.
That's the thing.
Otherwise, it would have been a very sorrowful moment. Like, cast cut එකත් වහ ගන්න බැරි තරම් it was.
That's the thing.
That's how fun it was.
and to actually title it Nellum Kulana
Yeah.
I mean-
because of that.
For a moment, I thought it was a political thing.
Yeah, no, but
The
it's
moment it came out,
Yeah,
No,
because you
it's-
don't know. No?
yeah, that's the
it's really funny. It
No,
is. I mean,
it's such a simple cast,
Yeah.
but it was so funny. And the man's so same guy. Obviously, I don't know which one, but the main one, the one who goes to the doctor, and all, the main son.
Right.
He's the one only in Valampuri as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's one of the robbers, so to speak, in Valampuri. So
Oh, dear,
good
dear,
acting, super acting, na?
Good fun. Anyway, like I said, this is the first week that Sri Lanka experienced a full 5-day week from the 1st of May.
Wonder how that feels.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
How does
from
it feel, people?
from the 1st of May, on the first of May was a holiday. Then the following week, of course, they had 2 days off for elections.
Yes.
Even though it was not declared a holiday, but it was obviously people just decide to.
Anyway, half day for corporate.
Yeah, a half day, but then the next day was also basically.
If you're
people
far
didn't-
away, you anyway get that day off and all
And then the
that.
following week was Vesak. So 2
So
days. were
basically,
then-
you didn't work those 2 days.
Yeah.
Vesak was going on forever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dansal යනවා තාම යනවා dansal.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's
Kalama-
But on the
No, the
subject.
Torang will be there for about a
Poson,
month
no?
until Poson. Yeah.
Yeah, so on the subject of dansals, I'm happy to say that our popcorn dansal has worked out quite well. Huh?
Catching on, no?
Yeah,
People like it.
yeah. So hopefully next year, GNSL, we have decided popcorn dansal is the way
We
forward.
can ask your friend also to give a big sponsorship.
Who's his friend?
Because I love that popcorn
Who's his friend?
at CCC.
Who's his friend?
At YB at the Scope Cinema.
Oh, you want Scope Cinema to sponsor dansal?
Only the popcorn part.
Only the-
Scope Cinema to sponsor popcorn.
Popcorn.
Yeah, that is
Because
exactly
that
what Scope
popcorn is
Cinema does.
fabulous. Man, I love that popcorn.
The cheesy one.
The cheesy one.
I think lots of people actually like the
yeah.
popcorn.
You know why?
as well.
Because it tastes like tippy tip.
Yeah,
That's why it's
okay,
nostalgic.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Okay.
And how was your week, Andy?
Good. It was a normal week. Went
Normal
to work,
week.
worked out a little bit, got sick. Also had this fever.
Oh,
So last week I had fever on Monday. So Monday to about Thursday, okay, show and all that, that's fine. Worked out on Friday. In the drizzle also we worked.
Sure.
Have to know that last bit.
Oh, දිලිසෙන්න ඕනේ.
ඒක ඕනේ රග ප්ලේස් නේ. අපි දිලිසුම කැතයි. හැම කැතයි. So I think now slight drizzle and all that. Doing sit-ups. So the වැස්ස තියෙන මූණේ. කමක් නැති somehow that's how you get refreshed. Refresh කරනකොට sit-up එහෙම ලෙස්සිලා යන්න ඉස්සර කමක් නැහැ. It's all good. And all that. Then I got sick again on Saturday.
Sure.
I went to the doctor. Doctor said, "Now you got better, no?" I gave you medicine. No, I kind of worked out. Okay, in the rain. So you're not supposed to get wet for about 2 weeks. No, all right, okay. Again took medicine. Again I didn't work out. No, again must go. Now today in the morning I went. වැස්සක් තිබ්බේ නැහැ ෂේප් එකේ ඉන්න. So yeah.
So how much have you lost now?
තාම එකයි ඉතින්.
අයියෝ.
මේකනේ ඉතින්. ඒකට හරියන කනවනේ. But no sweets. But ඉතින් කනවා.
No sweets.
No sweets. No.
Still no sweets.
No,
huh?
no, no.
No
No
sweets.
No sweets. But kanawa.
So that has been almost a month.
About a month now.
That's good.
Yeah, dates. Sweet kind of dates,
Right.
like stuff like that. But other than that, sugar.
How many dates? Huh?
2.
2 is okay.
Oh,
2 is okay.
okay.
2 to 3 is okay for a day.
2.
Yeah.
2. In the morning, honey and plain tea.
Sure.
Oh, what a life. Lose that 1 kilo.
So your honey is sugarless, is it?
No, but
Is
honey,
it-
no.
Ah.
Dubai honey, yeah. With that comb and all that in the middle.
Sure.
Broken, plucked from those thingies, hives.
ඒ dates වලට දාන්නේ ඔටු කිරි.
Dubai dates නෙවෙයි. Dubai honey.
Dubai honey.
honey තමයි ගෙනාවේ පොතාගෙන Dubai වල.
What, Dubai is not known for honey?
ඉතින් තිබ්බ බෝතලේ මම
Dubai වල මලක්වත් පිපෙන්නේ නැහැ නේද ඊයේ කොහෙද මම කාන්තාරේ මල් පිපෙනවද
ඒ honey comb එක තියෙනවා ඒක ඇතුලේ.
එහෙනම් වැලි වෙන්න දුර්ලභ මොනවද ඇත්තේ? Oh my god.
So yeah.
Anyways,
How
it was okay. It was all right. Busy, but lots of hospital runs, unfortunately.
Oh,
Yeah.
sick.
My mother-in-law is sick, right?
okay.
So up and down hospital runs, which
That's
has
a
been
whole another level.
it's
of,
completely another level altogether. So anyway, that's exactly how our boring week was. All three of us have
Yeah,
pretty
well,
much.
how that we have old people problems, so
Yeah.
can't do a sit up, hospital runs, but daily work.
Daily work.
Yeah, what to do?
What to do? Problems.
Went and watched a movie after a
Remember
long
the
time.
movie, couldn't remember the name of the movie, googled it.
Yeah.
දැන් තියෙන ප්‍රශ්න අපිට.
දැන් මොකද movie නම?
වාලම්පුරි.
Valampuri.
තාපොඩි හම්බෙන්නේ කියලා.
Got a guest coming up on the show today, a very interesting guest, and we're going to be talking to him also, as we've got lots lined up as far as Gnsl is concerned. Good night, Sri Lanka. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. It's time for us to get into our first segment of the show. It's Lanka Last Week. Let's figure out if Lanka Last Week was at least a bit more interesting than our week
Our
was.
week, yeah, that's
Okay,
it.
let's go
That's
for
it.
it. Sorry.
It's all at a mute.
One-
version එක තමයි යන්නේ අපිට.
All right, what do we have? First item, over 15,000 metric tons of salt washed away by rain in Putlam.
What a crime.
Now, this is something that we were discussing last week, Christian. You were asking, how could that
yeah.
be? Because
So
we
all these years there were no rain in Putlam.
no, it's not.
ඒ කවර මාරු කරලා.
No.
අර කවරේ මාරු කරලා.
ඒක waterproof නෙමෙයි.
නෑ, නෑ.
And then they discovered it was not waterproof.
we should send our Premada as a groundsman.
අන්න ඒකේ කවර් කරන්නේ.
in about 3 minutes, they cover the entire ground.
Yeah.
Right? But
No, but after the salt is harvested, right? You don't need to dry it again. You can keep it covered or stored somewhere.
Yeah, but
It's just that when it's in the salt and only know you have to
to ready for you to dry.
Yeah.
to dry,
to dry, no?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's
Something would happen.
but the thing is, it's a serious situation at the moment because
no salt,
there's
absolutely no salt.
absolutely no salt. And the thing is, also, like we spoke about this last week, the cabinet has given approval to import salt.
salt from India.
Salt has been imported, but it is going to be delayed.
Oh, why is that?
I don't know. There is a delay in the importation or the arrival of the salt. So now every household is basically reducing the consumption of salt.
All the pressure patients are healed. නිට්ටාවට. High blood pressure, no problem.
And we have a history of waiting for ships to come. No?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
had the Salli never waiting to come.
Till
Till never.
till never.
Till never.
මෙහෙම බලාගෙන හිටියේ till never.
no.
Till never. Thank you. Then we had the
Sally never was the best.
Salli
මිටි වලින් එන්නේ මිටි මිටි.
වලින් සල්ලි never ආවා.
ආවා ඒක සුවඳ ආවා.
දැන් salt
Then
නැවෙනකන් ඉන්නවා.
Yeah, yeah.
වාහන නැවෙනකන් ඉන්නවා.
Oh.
So my dad bought a packet of salt recently and he's telling my mom, he used this like gold.
Yeah, I know.
My mother looked at him and I thought, Hari, somebody is going to get a earful. I slowly left the kitchen. Because it was quite a big packet as he has bought. And said, my mother just looked. Just looked. Because obviously she's the lady in the house that she cooks, right? How can you cook without salt? I mean, that's kind of sugar you can manage. You can eat some maybe jaggery or something and manage it out. But
Yeah, no, but the thing is, yeah, sweet, you're right. You can actually do that. But salt is utilized for almost everything that we do cook. And even a little less salt in your food,
you feel it.
you just knocks you out, right? So all households out there are using the salt very conservatively, very conservatively, and then there's no pinch of salt anymore.
It's just grain.
It's
a grain of salt.
It's a grain of salt. Take the best one. That's it.
That's it.
And then you wash the hand to the curry also.
It's a serious problem. Laughing matter here. This is not a laughing matter.
We are just sad about the fact that our food doesn't have salt.
Yeah, it's a serious issue. But so anyway, please do hold on to your salt and use it like gold. All right? Next one on the show. Expressway tolls can be paid using debit credit cards from today. This was actually launched yesterday. I'm sorry, it was launched on Wednesday. That's right, launched on Wednesday. And now you can actually use... Which is good. And I used the Expressway on Wednesday. And you used it a fair amount of times when you were actually working in Katnagar, right?
Yeah.
How much did you pay?
400.
Right? Yeah. So now
it's
400. Yeah.
I think after 10 o'clock, I think it's about a 50 rupees less.
Right.
Yeah, 50. Yeah.
Okay.
So after 10 or 9, I think something like that.
And the toll gates, especially during long weekends and all that stuff, they collect a colossal amount of money.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
15, 20, 30, I mean not even 30, 40, but much more.
I mean,
Much more.
Ideal for an Italian job.
No, but but the thing is, what do they do with that amount of money? Because our highways are not necessarily in the best of shapes. If you look at it, some of the fenders have actually been broken, right?
Not made also.
Right? And of course, we also have a huge problem, especially if you're taking the Katnagar highway in the night. There are places that is absolutely pitch dark.
Yeah, it is pitch dark all over.
That's what I'm saying. It's just pitch dark.
Only at the Kalaniya where the bridge is, you get the light.
Yeah, and then near the toll gate.
Yeah,
that's
all.
about it. And the exits have lights.
That's all.
I mean, if you're driving on the highway, it's pitch dark.
Yeah.
And then obviously there were issues that the copper wires were actually being stolen by druggies.
How to get into the highway?
I know.
Well, clearly, we are obviously not in that category because we don't know how to get into a highway.
Yeah, so I mean, there's no point building a highway if we can't see the damn road, right? What's the point? So I mean,
but even if you have an accident on the highway, they take cash for that, right? To build the sides.
Oh, do they?
They do, is what I've heard.
They take the cash from the person who caused the accident.
Who caused the accident.
Of course.
Take the debit.
Yeah.
Right.
But there are some places on the highway we have not seen it's been made. So God knows what has happened to that money.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm just
places are not being
no, but the thing is this, right? I'm just wondering the amount of money they actually do make, right? They should definitely put it to use.
So no, Shaq, now I think a percentage of that money goes to the builders, no?
Possible,
Yeah,
and not only the builders. I'm sure we also took a fair amount of loans to build it, no?
That's right.
So that amount is
also.
The loans, and I think the ownership of the highway until X number of years, all the income I think goes to that particular developer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, something like that. If I'm not mistaken, the entire the project, the contractor who took over the project, the country, I think has to get at least for 5 to 10 years. I think 5 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, 5 years is done and dusted now.
Yeah,
I mean, it's been over 10 years since that highway, more than 10 years.
Yeah, that's true.
That highway has been actually opened.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm just saying, but there's a lot of money that's actually been made.
And there are some places where you can actually feel
the
road has gone down. You just drive and all of a sudden you feel that
you got
it's like a flight in the airport, dush, going down, and then you can,
I mean, my question is, you're making money from the highway, right? Ideally, we say, of course, there's a certain amount of money that needs to go for the loans and all that stuff, but utilize that money to actually make it better, You know, because again, that's almost the second or the third impression a tourist gets when he lands. The first impression, of course, is the airport. Let's not talk about that, right? Second impression is coming out, right? Let's not talk about that. Third impression is the highway, right? And here you are driving in the middle of the night, pitch dark. It's ridiculous.
Something to think about, people.
Let's go on. Move next. Salt imported from India to arrive in Sri Lanka next week. Yeah, we just spoke about that. It's been a bit delayed, I think. So that's what.
Yeah, I don't know.
Huh?
Worst comes to worst, go to Vellavatta, take some salt, sea water, keep it in the balcony and dry it.
Make your own salt.
Make your own salt.
Next.
One of the ministers might even suggest that too.
You never know.
You never know.
I'm taking your idea from
My
the show.
idea, yeah.
Next one on the show. 100,000 leave for foreign jobs in 2025. Which country is actually in demand? I think this is, let's just quickly run through the countries that...
Is Finland in it? Because
Finland.
there are a lot of people making CVs for Finland.
You know, the thing is we spoke about this. There are a fair amount of people who have actually made series for Finland are sort of coming back now.
From Finland?
From Finland, yeah.
Finland is not one of those countries.
No. So according to the Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment, we've got the largest number of registrations was for jobs in Kuwait.
Oh.
In Kuwait. Yeah.
Kuwait.
And then you obviously have individuals who left for jobs in the United Arab Emirates,
Dubai,
right?
of course.
Dubai, of course. Qatar and Saudi Arabia are the ones that have received the top amount. So basically, Kuwait, Middle East. Kuwait, I mean, I suppose the individuals who actually are flying out are domestic workers also. But then corporates, like you said, Andy, Finland is very popular.
Quite high,
So there are lots of bankers and quantity surveys.
Yeah, quantity surveys.
Engineers.
Quantity surveys and quantity surveys. Majority in Dubai is Sri Lankans.
Right.
It's like a monopoly there.
Right.
Yeah, building and building. No.
It's tough to find jobs in Dubai, what I heard now. It's a saturated market. People who lose their jobs are struggling quite a bit to find another one.
It's tough to find jobs anywhere, as a matter of fact.
But people who are in Dubai, they don't want to leave Dubai for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And they're struggling to find jobs. I mean,
bringing up a family in Dubai is not an easy thing.
Oh no, it's not cheap at all.
It is very expensive. Getting a license there is like buying 3 cars.
Yes.
Getting a parking slot is another cost.
Yeah.
Right?
Because they don't pass you first try and second try also for license.
Yeah. It's very
expensive. They keep like 4-5 times you have to go to actually pass those roads.
Rent is expensive.
Yeah, just go to Dubai for a holiday.
Only thing cheap is
do what I do.
Yeah.
No. Carrefour. That's what the Sri Lankans call it there.
That is true.
Not careful.
But day to day is also there. Maybe that's a better word we could have used on the show.
Day to day.
Day to day.
Yeah.
Day to day.
Lulus. Yeah. Do what Andy does. Because
you didn't go to Carrefour.
Yeah.
Buy one get one free.
I only go like I always do. Luckily, also the Dubai Sevens also kind of coincide with that holiday. I go on the national holiday. Everything is 50% off.
Right.
You cannot only buy mother and father from there. Everything else can be purchased.
Man,
so I am like, ooh, honey.
Yeah.
Face wash.
That is, yeah.
I am going crazy. I go with like 10 kilos. I come with 25. I can't put the bag out of the belt. I'm like, honey, I podda ko daw karna the bag podda. They are like, what?
But nothing like Mustafa.
Mustafa,
Singapore.
Yeah.
From radios to Walkmans to blenders, everything.
Like I said, except for mother and father, you can buy everything there.
Same with Carrefour.
Yeah. So when my mother went to Singapore, I took her once. I had busted my elbow then and I had to go for a training. So Mrs. Balthasar, fresh as ever in a nice AC room, waiting for the evening until I come after my training. Soon as I come, yes, the daughter is in a sling, never mind. So, are we going out? Alright, so now she's bored in the hotel. So, I quickly changed my shoes and all that. I just put on a t-shirt and all. Right, so now the broken arm, this is all wrapped. And okay, my God, took to Mustafa. You just push this cart for me, yeah? Okay. Now, one hand. Anyway, one hand no useful. So now this is already, obviously, now pushing the cart. My God, that cart at one point couldn't push.
Overload.
I said,
Excess luggage.
I said, Balthasar, how are you taking this? Why, your one is empty now? Well, clearly, I have to empty it. She went to town. My mom's, even her complexion changed. She was rosy in Singapore. Came to Sri Lanka. Now I think my skin will go back to being dark. No, little. She's a fair lady. There's no going back to being dark.
Oh, dear.
Oh my goodness.
We should get Mrs. Balthasar on the show.
So, yeah.
She won't say a word.
Really?
She's very shy.
Oh,
She's
gosh.
very shy. Come, I'll slowly put a camera in my house. Then you will see the
drama.
Then you see the action.
Drama.
All right, next one on the show. What do we have? Rise in COVID-19, dengue, chikungunya cases, according to a health advisory. This is not a joke anymore. We were also basically, talking about this a couple of weeks ago, the rise in dengue, and then, of course, chikungunya, COVID.
Which nobody really cares anymore. But
Yeah,
COVID,
and the thing is, my sister has been telling me that she's in Singapore and COVID cases are rampant in Singapore. Yeah, that's right.
So they wear the mask the whole 9 yards.
Well, pretty much. I mean, they're not into the whole distancing as yet.
No, the mask, everything.
Yeah, and then of course now there are health advisories here also, because they are starting to sort of focus on certain countries, individuals coming back from Hong Kong, Singapore, and China. Travelers coming back from there are advised to wear masks and monitor for symptoms and so on and so forth.
Some corporates also do that, so even our officers would encourage you to wear a mask if you're sick. It's okay if you don't, but we would encourage the AC compartment.
That's true. It's very important.
And there's a flu also that keeps reoccurring. One exhibit A. That if you don't take proper rest for about 2-3 weeks, it will keep on coming back until your body kind of recovers. So I don't know what that is.
Really. A couple of weeks ago that I was sick, right? I was sick. I had terrible body pains and all that stuff. Thankfully, I recovered in about 3 days or so. But still, even today, I've got killer pains in my ankle, right? And this is, I've actually spoken to a lot of people who have had the same symptoms and gone through this whole joint pains and all that stuff. So, because when you wake up in the morning, right, sometimes you dread the idea of putting your feet out.
So that bad?
Kills. The first couple of steps, it really kills. You're like on your fours going to the washroom. Gosh. That bad it is. But then after a couple of steps, it sort of basically, works out. But almost everybody.
That's called frozen food or something?
Far from frozen they were. Trust me, they're not frozen at all. But these are like...
No, but that's all symptoms of that
these
fever.
symptoms
You feel like
supposedly...
jumping up when you keep your legs down.
Sorry?
You feel like jumping up the...
No. It just kills, Christian. It's so painful.
So for chikungunya, some people say is that the joints which you have had accidents on, like the bruised and the tissues,
that's right.
They hurt more for longer periods.
That's right.
Like you're broken, like for example, if I get in, then obviously my hand would probably hurt more longer because I busted my elbow. That kind of thing.
No, my ankle.
No, hurry, you won't get to it. Don't worry. You won't get it. You are with Christ. Don't worry.
Okay.
Next one on the show. Over 4,600 health professionals have migrated since 2022.
Why?
This is another big serious. That's a serious issue.
Nobody's there to treat us.
There's nobody here to treat us. At the end of the day, almost all health professionals are heading out of the country, and the worst time to actually fall sick, or the worst time to be admitted to the hospital, is before a long weekend.
Yeah.
Right? During the Aurudu holidays, the worst time. During Vesak holidays, the worst time. During Christmas, that entire Christmas lay from the 22nd
to the end
to the 31st second,
Everybody's gone on holiday.
everybody's gone on holiday.
But the hospitals are full. I went to King's Hospital recently, packed.
I can tell you that.
Really?
Packed.
It is.
And that's not a hospital that many really normally rush to, unless it's some other hospital like Aji Surgical or what. This is packed. It's 6 season. That's what it is. It's 6 season. Next one on the show.
GMOA has raised serious concerns over an escalating shortage of essential medicines in hospitals across the country.
No doctors and no medicine.
Now what do we do?
And no salt.
No doctors, no medicine,
No salt.
chikungunya on the rise,
COVID.
dengue on the rise, COVID on the rise, right? What do we do?
You do see a problem.
Small issue here.
Only way paspanguwa tembung honda.
That's
Saki lekat bonnada.
Oh, ekan dunu nathuwa bonna bෑ.
And valampuri.
Haggiri.
Next one.
Oh no? Oh.
There is a shortage of 40,000 teachers island-wide.
Put that also down.
No salt.
No salt.
No doctors.
No medicine.
No medicine. COVID on the rise. Dengue on the rise. Chikungunya on the rise.
Teachers on the low.
Teachers on the low.
Then ekene ඒගොල්ලෝ නුත් නෑ.
Yeah.
ඉතින් එහෙනම් ඇත්තටම
කවුද ඉන්නේ ඉතින් මේ රටේ? අපි තුන් දෙනාද? Just us three.
ඉස්කෝලේ ටික වහලා ටියුෂන් වලින් රන් කරා නම් හරි.
ඉතින් ඒක තමයි වෙන්නේ දැන්.
Tuition පන්ති වන්දනේ.
No, but the thing is this, the reason that basically the tuition classes don't give you a leaving certificate, that's why you're going to the school. You need to go to school to get your leaving certificate.
Teacher නෑ.
Huh?
Teacher sign කරනවත් නැහැ.
That is immaterial.
Immaterial. Anyway, are we done? Oh, we're done. Okay. All right, so there you go. That's an interesting week as far as Sri Lanka is concerned. There are so many other stuff that obviously happened. But
we forgot to tell one thing, no?
What?
Why the Thunder Thighs won, no?
Thunder Thighs?
Oh, yes. I mean, have to.
How did you forget?
New Zealand.
Not the New Zealand man, the Pathana.
Green. They're all Thunder Thighs.
Oh!
All rugby players have Thunder Thighs.
Yeah, President's Trophy. Congratulations.
Yeah,
he's wearing green also and come in the green brigade.
Yeah, but ask him if he went for the match.
Did he go for the match? Cheeky. You're such a boo.
Yeah. But it was a great match though. It was a fantastic match.
Until the 78th minute.
Yeah, it was a brilliant match.
How was the rain after that?
Yeah, it was. The knockouts, congratulations to Isi Pathana. They are the knockout kings, as a matter of fact. They've actually won it 7-8 times, Hamad? Yeah, something like that. There's no point asking him. He's just Isi Pathana by name.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He doesn't know.
He's very proud.
Nothing.
I played rugby.
I played rugby at home. I played rugby at home. Yes. You ask him any question about Isi Pathana, he doesn't know. No. Only by name.
Spell Isi Pathana?
ඒක පොඩි කාලේ දැන්
මම grade 1 එක spell Isi Pathana, right? That's how it is.
I bet you he doesn't know the college anthem.
Do you know the college anthem? That's a college anthem.
Guest is waiting.
Alrighty then, we've got a special guest on the show, and is of course the CEO and director of Barista Coffee in Sri Lanka. Every single person who's actually watching the show has definitely been to at least one barista outlet in Sri Lanka, because the fact is it's very difficult to miss any one of them. They're everywhere. But that's why we're going to basically be talking to Dilupa about so many other things on the show with us. Let's have him on the show. Hi Dilupa, how are you?
Hi Shaq, how are you? I'm all right. I'm fine, surviving, but little concerned now with the news that you brought in. No salt, lot of dengue, lot of COVID, and no doctors.
No salt, no doctors, right? No medicine, no teachers. Dengue on the rise, chikungunya on the rise.
You don't have to worry because you don't use any of those ingredients. As long as coffee and sugar is here, you don't have to worry. The moment they say no coffee,
little bit of salt.
Barista doesn't use salt in their food.
No, you can.
But hint of salt we need, like not a much. Just
a pinch
of salt.
Pinch of salt.
Okay, Dilupa, now let's talk about Barista, okay? And of course, you are the CEO and director of Barista, and we will also basically talk about the expansion program that you have been having for the last several months or so. how has Barista over the years has actually become like a meetup spot for everyone out there? I mean, you know, at the end of the day, I've had many meetings at Barista, right? We've bumped into each other many times at Barista also. And we also see, for example, the Gen Zs love to actually hang around at Barista. What's the transformation? How did that actually happen?
Well, Shaq, when we even started all this process, now when I joined also 2018, we had a strategic decisions to make coffee more affordable and accessible to all Sri Lankans. So that was the whole plan. And in that strategic viewpoint, we realized we have to give so many reasons for people to come to our cafes, not just for coffee, because we've been trying that for at least about 17 years. That didn't work because we couldn't take coffee away from Colombo. So we decided, let's give so many reasons. So we have identified different need states of human, like the recharge, rejuvenation, but more than that, socializing, camaraderie, and hustling inside cafes. So that was a very, strategic decisions we made, and we worked on it for so long. And finally, like right now, only the strategies that we have taken about few years back is really getting into practice and play. That is what you see. Everybody is there for so many reasons.
Now, Dilupa, what we have seen in the last several months is barista outlets being open in different parts of Sri Lanka, right?
Yeah.
Sri Lanka, as you know, is a traditionally tea drinking country, right?
Yeah.
Everywhere, basically, wherever you go, even if you go to the rural areas, you know, there's always a tea kade somewhere, right? Now, Barista has actually taken that step in trying to, move into different parts, taking coffee from Colombo out to the outskirts, right? How has that been welcomed? It couldn't have been easy.
No, actually, it wasn't. But so initially, when we, like in 2020s, 2021, we were decided to, take it away from Colombo. It was a decision that with lot of concerns to everybody, and in fact for us also, because the whole culture has to be taught, because we are predominantly a tea country, and I don't think that has changed a bit, because I'm still having a plain tea right now. So what we wanted was not only to sell coffee, but also to give many other reasons. And we knew that some of the parts of Sri Lanka were not ready, but what we had was patience. Like, we went to go like 3 years ago, and Kurunagala was about 1.5 years ago. So when some of the locations actually surprised us, there was some locations like Mathura, we thought we will take little time for the education, the category education and recruitment to happen, but it happens very quickly. But some of the locations, of course, I have to be honest, like it took little time for people to understand and to get into the value proposition that we were proposing them to accept and come in. But what happens is, like, I always believed that coffee was positioned a little too premium in the market. And our strategy was to make it more affordable and available. So affordability, of course, still if you see our prices and how we pitch our products are more affordable range still. So that helped us to go into the rural areas, because most of the people are trying the first time the coffee, so it can't be very expensive experience for them to try something out. So initially we introduce coffee at lower prices as a category recruiters, and then we introduce them different varieties of coffee, different sizes of coffee, so that we can increase the basket value. So that's how it's been done.
Dilupa, from what the understanding that I have when it comes to your chain of coffee shops, right? I think you didn't emphasize or shout on the fact of it being a coffee shop.
Yeah.
Right? I think you very strategically took the main ingredient out of your chain and made it a place where people can come and hang out, where people can come for other things, right? To have a good meal, right? To have some good dessert, right? And to have some good sandwiches, something like that, right? I think probably that is one reason where a tea loving country, right? අපි තුන් වේලම තේ බොන කට්ටියනේ. උදේටත් තේ බොනවා, දවල්ටත් තේ බොනවා, රැටත් තේ බොනවානේ දිලුප, right? ඒ සංකල්පය කඩලා ඉවර වෙලා මේ ආයතනයට ගෙනල්ලා තියෙන විදිය, I think it's remarkable. What is your take on that? Did you all have any strategical planning like that, or is it something that happened accidentally, or was it forecasted in your marketing plan?
No, actually, we forecasted it. We really planned for it. We realized, we had so much of facts when I even joined in 2018. We've been there in the business for almost 17 years. What that 17 years strategy had brought us was only 7 outlets. And also those outlets were also not doing really well, I have to say. So we realized that this strategy, if we are trying to, follow and emphasize the same strategy for another 10 years, we'll have to be there. So what we decided was not trying to, put coffee through the throats of consumers, but let's make it a more community hub. Let's do a design of outlet layout so that people can come, hang around. Somebody can, do computer work. Somebody can have a meeting, interview. Someone is playing guitar. So we've given so many reasons for people to come, and also a little bit of branding. I have to talk about that seriously also. We took branding very seriously because, of course, that was my favorite area too. So we decided to build core values around the brand and then to protect it for a longer period of time. And we wanted people to see that it's an authentic effort of getting people a better experience, because I think in Sri Lanka that third place was missing. You have office, you have home, you want to have somewhere in between for you to spend some time, maybe alone. If you see the amount of people who just come for a coffee, maybe an Americano with a smoke, and just don't talk to anybody for 30 minutes, that is also something that most of the people like millennials would be missing right now when they're getting into their 35 to 40s. But then Gen Zs and Gen Alphas, they have so many other reasons. So technically giving more reasons for people to gather in a community hub was the answer for that. And that was strategical, and that was well thought of. Yes.
Yeah. So, you guys have obviously branched out strategically and branched out very well, right? So for the rural areas, or let's put it this way, for the coffee shops which have been opened outside of Colombo, how did you all find the trainers and the waiters and the coffee makers? How did the recruitment go? How did the training go about all of that?
So that actually now only I like, that's the biggest challenge. That's the $1 million questions. The barista is not an easy thing to train. Also, it is more technical, more machine based, and we are very, very concerned about it. But luckily, for the 17 years of operation, had given us very disciplined set of procedures and practices of barista training. In fact, we had some great baristas who were like 5 years, 6 years in the system. So what we did was we planned out a very thorough training program. So if I'm to talk about it, we have 3 types of training happening. We have one set of training happening only at head office, where we use all our great trainers, like the head of training and also head of HR, and myself also do some the strategic trainings. That's about 5 sessions of training there, and it's a sacred training. So that happens in head office. And then we have a concept called coffee marshals, where they are not the greatest trainers, but we have a second layer of trainers who are going outside Colombo and training inside the cafes itself. So we call them coffee marshals. So they go to outlet, they're on a roster, and they train baristas inside that. And also we have trained the trainers, that is the managers. They are training mostly the SOPs and cleaning and customer service and food safety and hygiene. So that is done by outlet managers. The fourth one is, of course, the new addition to the training program. That is our Barista Academy, which is a telephone app, like mobile app. where we have about 240 hours of training materials inside, and each and every employee gets a personal login to it, and according to their stage of their employment, they get exposed to all these trainings, and thereafter they have to do examinations online. So there's a huge process. I need to give the credit to my training team and HR team for organizing that. So it's a long process, but it's a cumbersome one, but very exciting one also.
Dilupa, do you now? Obviously, maybe every other week we see you opening a new outlet somewhere, right? And it's fantastic because you're obviously branching out a fair amount. Do you have a target that you need to open? 15 million outlets in Sri Lanka by the end of by the end of 2025 or something. Is there a target that you're after? What's the reason behind this?
That's the thing. Shaq, I don't have a target in my head. Neither, I don't think my top management also. But we go by the year. Every time we open an outlet, we see whether consumers are giving us a message, like whether we are cannibalizing our own sales, whether the sales are coming down, touch wood, with all these chaos around. I think we still cater to a market that is growing. So every time we open an outlet, we don't go to very rural still, but we always wanted to be on the main roads to some, great cities in between. So then we find the sub-cities also are interested. So we are on a strategic map in Sri Lanka, where expansion also happens that way in a more strategic manner. Right now we get so many inquiries for franchising all the locations, but most of the time my job is now to sacrifice locations that people are requesting to open. But we are very watchful. Every time we open an outlet, we see whether we are getting any message from the market, but the message is still positive. So, it could be 100, it could be 150, or it could be 200, but as long as we get our KPIs served, I think there's room to grow. And while opening outlet also, what happens is actually that culture slowly spreads out. So then village to village, to city, it also spreads out, so that it also opens up more avenues of revenue for us. So it's going hand in hand. So the expansion also helps us to expand more by spreading the culture around. Yes.
Dilupa, I have a question for you now.
Yes, please.
Coffee, well, we are popular as a nation for Sri Lankan tea. Sri Lankan, the brand Sri Lankan. You as a person in this coffee trade, there are so many countries like Brazil, Malaysia, where they grow the finest coffee. Then there is a type of coffee where goats poop out, and which is very expensive.
Yes.
What is that called?
The raccoons.
Kopi.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
The raccoons, yes.
So, but my question is, are you having any plan to bring up a Sri Lankan brand? Perhaps encourage the rural folks, or at least the people in the upcountry, to have your own farms, to have your own estates of coffee, and bring coffee, Sri Lankan coffee, to the map somewhere down the line. Do you have any plan like that?
Honest answer is, right now, I particularly don't have the good answer would be, the perfect answer would be, yes, I wanted to backward integrate and get into the cultivation of coffee and get the supply chain sorted locally. But the truth is, it's a different ball game altogether. It's a different infrastructure, it's a different strategies and different resources that we need, and also a lot of patience, because even if I start now or even 5 years later, it takes time to get the harvest of the requirement that right now I need. Frankly speaking, there are so many local suppliers who are interested, but they don't have enough, probably, the capacity to serve barista's requirement right now. So technically it's still imported, but I am probably waiting somebody else. So there are a lot of cultivation organizations, there are completely big conglomerates who are working on, cultivations and agriculture. And I think they are already, thought about it. They are investing on that in infrastructure. So when somebody is ready, for me, I'm, more than ready to get into it, because even the global coffee prices have, during the last 4 months, it has doubled. And there's a lot of pressure from supply chains, and right now we source from same supplier for some reason, but they are also saying it's getting challenged, because the demand is so high and the supply has some issues during the last 6 months because of droughts and floods, and because it's a blend, some coffee come from somewhere, and the rest of the coffee come from other side. So one side has flood, the other side had drought, so somewhere in between there's a problem for supply. I'd love to have it here in Sri Lanka. Everything like the beans to roast to the blends to everything in Sri Lanka. I think we have to have it, because we started cultivating coffee before even tea, and we are in the right, I think, geographical and weather conditions to grow coffee. So somebody has to be very serious. Maybe probably the government or big businesses, companies have to be very serious about it, because there's a huge demand here in Sri Lanka right now.
The thing that I really like and I love about Barista, right? Barista is an international chain, right? And yes, of course, it doesn't necessarily give you when you walk in that it's like an international chain. It is very homegrown.
Yeah, of course.
Because of the experience, it's cozy. The
Perfect lighting.
No, that's one thing, but
yeah.
also the association, very good association with local events. Being a part of local events. So, I mean, nobody necessarily wants to look at Barista as like, it's an international chain, it's too big. And just what you actually mentioned, DILUPA, at the beginning of this conversation, is the fact that you didn't want to pitch Barista as a premium brand of sorts. A coffee as a premium brand. And by associating yourself with different types of events, different types of places, I think that lots of individuals have actually warmed up to Barista. And every time they see a Barista outlet opening up in their neighborhood, they're happy. You know what I'm saying? So I think in that way you've done a remarkable job there.
And I need to add as well, I'm a big fan when it comes to sitting alone and having a coffee and reading a book, and Barista is usually my go-to place.
Oh, nice.
And there are plenty of females who are extremely comfortable, males with their cigarettes and their coffee, that's fine, but ladies who come and just chill, and that's like an amazing place to be. So kudos to you and your team for that.
Thank you. And that was another reason why we wanted more participation to our staff of girls, like, so for girls also to come and be comfortable with. When in 2018, it was about 7% of total workforce, because they thought Barista is not kind of a ladies kind of work, because you have to work till late nights, and the shift has to be extended to late night and all that. But we found solution as much as possible. Right now 26% of our workforce is ladies, and my plan is to go up to about 33 to 35%. And right now when you see the recruitment, I see when you get a batch of CVs, I think I'm hitting that target also. About 40% of those CVs are coming from ladies, and that gives consumers, like the guests, also a feeling that it's more, equality is being served at Barista. So it's a good feeling when you say that, when you have noticed.
Brilliant. DILUPA, thank you so much for being a part of the show, and congratulations in opening up the new outlets in different parts of Sri Lanka. Two final questions I actually have for you, right? First one is there a location in Sri Lanka that you really, really want to open a Barista outlet but yet could not manage to do so?
I want to do one in Anuradhapura. I've been trying that, and also I want to have one possible in Sri Pada, close to Sri Pada, because that's the ideal conditions to have a hot cup of coffee. I think it's called for it.
All right. Now, my final question, I'm going to put you on the spot, right? what is your favorite barista outlet?
Man. That's a tough question. Okay, I like every outlet, but BIA outlet is special because every time I go out, that's my final coffee or the final meal from Sri Lanka. So I like to sit there, have a coffee there, and then leave the country. So it's a little emotional.
Fabulous, fabulous. Dilupa, thank you so much. And
Thank you,
three of
Chef.
us and everybody
Thank you,
in the
everybody.
studio. We love to
Yeah.
hang out at any of our barista outlets.
Please
barista
come.
outlets close by the studio here. You can trip and fall into a barista outlet, right? And you have made
We'll get it more
absolutely
closer to you. We'll get it more closer to you. Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure. Thanks. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, Dilupa. Have a good one. There you go. DILUPA PATHIRANA on the show with us. He's the CEO and director of Barista Sri Lanka, Barista Coffee Sri Lanka. And like you said, Andy, I mean, it hasn't, it's just, it's very inviting
Yes.
at the end of the day, you know?
And he's absolutely correct. There are many people just on their own, reading a book, having a smoke or having a coffee, and just being. Like,
Yeah.
do not speak to me.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Nobody knows why I went to barista.
You was a tika.
No,
Then?
I had to wait till the kid finished tuition.
You had a coffee now?
Yeah.
Business is flowing on.
Eat something, have a coffee here.
Actually.
Yeah, sometimes a long time you have to wait, no?
Yeah,
2 hours, 3 hours?
Yeah, lecture in the way. I mean, but at least.
Vanna?
No, I'll go somewhere else and then go to a shopping mall or something, and then that's how I divided the time.
Right.
Otherwise, it was a long way to go and come back.
Right.
So that's another marker that they should tap.
I think Hamad
Parents waiting tuition.
All right. Okay. So thank you so much. And it's time for us to actually get into game night on the show. And we have absolutely no idea what they have in store for us today.
I know.
But you do?
Spellings.
Yeah, I don't know. Right. We will take a quick break, and we'll be back right after this. Thank you very much. Welcome back to the show. And this is game night. This is the segment that the three of us always look forward to.
Very.
Very much.
Humiliated.
My entire week is this is the build up. I work and go, oh my god, game night. Highlight of my week.
It's time for game night. So now, our crew has taken it very seriously.
Yeah.
From last time to basically.
We were joking. We were not.
Clearly not.
But
game night. And tonight on the show, game night is all going to be, there you go. Spelling bee. So, this is how it's going to work. A word is going to be played aloud. 4 spelling options will appear.
Fastest one.
We have to pick the correct one. Fastest wins the round.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
So, let's go. The first one is...
Tell the word.
Your word is
mischievous,
mischievous.
C. I said C.
Okay, C.
C and Chris.
Well done, Chris.
But I said very closely, yeah?
Yeah.
See. Piti. Okay.
Next
word.
one. The word is
Your word is
pistachio,
pistachio.
C.
B.
C.
No, B.
B.
B. Oh, B.
B.
Whee!
And the second one is
at Chris one.
cashew.
Tashu.
Yeah.
Cashew.
Okay,
Malanga
the word
Malanga.
is
miscellaneous,
miscellaneous.
A.
D.
Miscellaneous
C.
is
So B.
C.
B.
then B.
B. Thank you.
I want that one. I said B first.
No.
Damn it.
Ayyo, Andy.
Are you Andy?
මොකද මෙයාට ඉංග්‍රීසි බෑ වැඩිය.
Okay, the word is
handkerchief,
B.
C.
මම කිව්වෙත් නෑනේ තාම පොඩ්ඩක් ඉන්නකෝ. Hey.
What are you doing?
I'm looking for the handkerchief.
Okay.
මට ආච්චිලාගේ ඕව තමයි හම්බ වෙන්නේ.
Can I write it down? I'm better when I write.
Yeah.
එහෙමත් කියන්නකෝ. එහෙමත් කියන්නකෝ. හරි.
Okay.
Okay.
Your word is
brachiosaurus,
මොකක්?
Brachiosaurus.
Saurus.
A.
D.
Brachiosaurus.
I think D.
Brachiosaurus.
Yeah, I think it's D too.
D.
I think it's D too. Yeah, well done, Andy.
You saw, I went for the hard ones. People. I was getting a little twist. The hard ones. I have lost it, but never mind.
Chris one, Andy one, Shaq 3.
2. 3.
Last one.
Oh, last one.
Ayyo, I thought the last one.
Your word is
Psychiatrist.
Come on.
Psychiatrist.
Psychiatrist, right? I think it's
C.
A.
B.
C.
Andy. Andy second, Chris last. Shaq first.
Wow.
The two losers have the punishment.
Ayyo,
There you go.
Two, I don't know.
Oh, what's the punishment? The losers have to cook or buy the winner's favorite meal or dessert before the next game night.
I'll buy you 2 dates and give.
Dates?
2 dates and 2 samosas.
Yeah.
Meet, tell us then what's your favorite meal? What do you want?
Yeah, meal.
I'll buy you a cigarette.
No,
I tried to buy 2 dates and 2 samosas.
but I think
Coffee.
I think
Coffee
it's
for
time you
barista.
actually bought me the cigarette.
Coffee from barista.
There you go. It had to be a game night.
Coffee
from Barista.
Coffee from Barista and tuna mayo sandwich from Barista.
Alright, done. One sandwich, one coffee.
Yeah.
Enna sathi. Oh, then you sit and eat. Then you all look at him eating. And there you go.
All right. Thank you very much,
Super.
guys, for being a part of the show. As always, it's
You bring for me also.
absolutely fun. It's absolutely fun being a part of the show. Thank you for obviously all those follows. We need to figure out exactly
How
where
many
we are with our
followers?
followers.
2,706.
2,706
Oh, dear.
followers on the show. Thank you
I
so
checked it
much.
before the show.
Thank you so
Oh,
much
clap it,
for
clap.
being a part of the
was
show.
wondering how you knew.
I checked.
How you
I was
checked?
touching it.
Touching it. Yeah, okay.
Touching it.
Anyway, thanks,
Not
guys.
the huggity, you know?
Please continue to follow us on our YouTube page. We are slowly increasing our subscribers on GNSL on PodHub. That's our YouTube page. Of course, we also have our
Channel.
Instagram page. GNSL on PodHub. We have the Facebook page and also TikTok. So please go ahead, be a part of it. And
We are everywhere. We
we're-
are everywhere.
we are everywhere. Please do be a part of the whole show. And thank you so much for all the love that's been shown, for all those little mini clips that have been posted up. Sometimes we also look at ourselves on it and say, what the hell are we saying? Right? But that's the fun. That's the fun bit for what's going on right now. Guys, have a great week. It's going to be the final week of the month of May when we come back.
What happened to May?
5 months completely done and dusted by the end of this month.
Christmas coming soon.
For 2025, and yeah, Christmas is going to be just around the corner. I mean, lots of corporates start working on their Christmas
July,
campaign starting in June, and obviously kickstart the process in November. Anyway, thank you so much for being a part of the show. Much love to each and every one of you. Continue to follow us. Continue to obviously like those posts and all that stuff. We're shamelessly asking you, make sure you subscribe our pages also.
And comment.
Oh
Lots of
yeah,
comments.
comment.
Comment because we love it when you comment.
lot of comment. Gahagala prashnan ne.
අපි තින්නවා ඒක මැද.
පොඩි අතල්ලකක් ගන්නවා ඒකේ.
Oh, anyway.
Have a good one, guys. Have
Bye-bye.
yourself a wonderful night. Good night,
Sri
Sri
Lanka.
Lanka.